Good morning, everyone. This is Celly. Hope you all are doing well and you're having an awesome day and a great start to the week. Today, I want to speak about the fundamentals of successful sales relationships. In my opinion, there are 3 stages that each sales professional needs to perfect and execute extremely well for there to be the desired outcome that you are expecting. It doesn't matter what product or service or solution you're selling. The first step is do your homework. Before you get to the actual meeting, you need to do your homework and spend some time understanding who you're going to be meeting, what company they are in, what does the company do, what does the industry do, what is happening, what are some obvious challenges and tailwinds that are impacting the business, and look at, if it's a publicly traded company, their website, of course, their 10K reports, their quarterly reports. Research the individuals you're meeting on LinkedIn, on Google, see if they've written some articles or presented at some conferences. The more you can find out about the individual and the company and the industry that you're going to be meeting with, the better you will be able to relate to them. So that's the first step. That is the pre-meeting homework. The second step is at the meeting. During the meeting, what are you to do? Please do not make the mistake of focusing on your product and service and your company and how great you are and the features and benefits and how amazing the offering is. Nobody cares about that. What the customer cares about is their problems, their challenges, their issues, and how potentially you and your solution can help them alleviate their problem. So that's what the focus should be on. So how do you uncover those problems the customer's facing? You uncover those based on the quality of your questions. Asking relevant questions to the prospect and the customer that will indicate what is going on with them. You should be talking 20% and the customer or the prospect should be speaking 80%. It is this phase is called the discovery phase, or the phase to identify if there is a good match. Not every prospect is a good match. By focusing on this stage and by clarifying and asking relevant questions to the customer, you will be able to identify if they have a problem, number 1. Number 2, if the problem is acute enough, by qualifying and quantifying it. And number 3, if the customer is willing and able to solve the problem in the time frame. And most importantly, if you have a solution that meets and can solve the problem. Only if there is a match for all 4 of those variables is there going to be a potential for a sale. Otherwise, there's not any match and you are wasting your time and the prospect's time. You will do yourself a favor and them by asking the questions and then figuring out if there's a match. You cannot fit a round peg in a square hole. So spend the time to do that. Qualify, qualify, qualify. And if there's no match, move on to the next one. Okay, so that is during the meeting. Now, at every stage of the meeting and every interaction, you should set up what we call as a UFC and a FFC. A UFC is an upfront contract. Mr. Customer, when we last spoke, you indicated that you had aging IT infrastructure that was costing you too much in annual support and you wanted to fix it. Is that still the case? Yes, it is the case. Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do in this meeting. We're going to delve a little deeper into your situation. I'm going to ask you some questions. You will have some questions for me. Hopefully at the end of this, we will be able to determine if this is a good fit and if we need to speak further. Is that fair? Yes, that's fair. That is what is known as an upfront contract. It is critical to state that in the beginning so that everybody, you and the customer and the prospect, is aware of what is going to happen and there are no surprises. At the end of the interaction, we do what we call as a FFC, or a firm future commitment. Now that is similar to a UFC. However, the focus on that is on the future. John, thanks for your time. We discussed a number of things today. It seems, based on what you indicated to me with respect to your current infrastructure and some of the issues you're facing and some of our potential solutions, it seems that this is a good fit. Here's what I propose. I would like to schedule a next meeting next Thursday, June 27th at 11 a.m. Prior to that, I will send you some follow-up information, and please extend the invite to the other C-level stakeholders that would be relevant to this conversation, and I will also pull in my technical architect. I will send all this to you in an email. That is a firm future commitment. Very important to set of FFC at the end of every interaction and then follow through on that. And that brings me to the third critical step in any successful sales interaction. So the first one was the pre-meeting preparation and homework. The second one was the actual meeting with the qualification and asking the relevant questions to identify the pain, and in that being UFC and FFC. And the third important step is follow-up. This is so critical, it cannot be understated. Timely follow-up is key. Do what you said you were going to do. If you told the customer you're going to be sending them a follow-up email before the end of the day, recapping whatever you spoke about, which is a great idea, you should do that, then please go ahead and do that. That is how trust is built. The customer is evaluating you and is trying to see if you follow through on what you said you would. At every step of the way, they are looking at what you said you were going to do and actually did you do it. So follow-up is key. What do I mean by that? Follow-up only is useful if you do it on a consistent basis, a timely basis, and a prompt basis. If you had a meeting with the prospect on Friday, there's no point you waiting a week before you send a thank you email. That's too long. It's too late. It has to be quick. Maybe the same day, before the end of the day, or at worst, the next day. Next, you need to do the research and execute on the next steps. A lot of people miss this step and they end up destroying the credibility and destroying any trust that was built. When there's no trust, there's no relationship. When there's no credibility, there is no, you're not viewed as a valued expert, and the customer's not going to do business with you. Folks, you have to understand this is a very competitive environment. If you do not want to earn the customer's business, there are 5 other people who will. The folks that are going to succeed are not necessarily the smartest or the quickest or the most witty sales folks. It's the ones that do the work. It's the ones that put in the effort. You are not expected to have all the answers, but you are expected to get the answers to the customer by asking around and talking to your experts and pulling in the right folks. Do the homework, number 1. Number 2, make sure you have quality questions to uncover the need during the meeting. And the third aspect is follow up in a timely fashion and in a concise way. These are the 3 steps, and a lot of folks miss 1 or 2 or more of them, or do a shoddy job on some of them, or at worst all of them, and then they wonder why the customer went silent on them. So I hope you got value out of this. This is Sal, Celly. Again, this is important no matter what the product is, what the solution is, what the service is that you're selling. No matter whether you're selling to large corporations, small corporations, mom and pop shops, the federal government, public sector, commercial, it doesn't matter. What matters is if you follow this process, and it is a system. The system works. So go ahead and try it, and hopefully you'll find value in it. This is Sal, Celly. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.